Vaikuchi Ka Khalsa, Vaikuchi Ki Fateh. Welcome to your Saheli chat show. Today we're going to be talking about quite a taboo subject. It's mental health issues, and it is the Suicide Prevention Day as well. And with me, I've got three ladies here from the Heera Foundation. Welcome, Kelly, Pav, and Karen. Welcome. Tell me a little bit about what you do, Kelly.
So I'm fairly new to the Heera Foundation, so I do the events organisation. Been involved, had experience of mental health myself, so it was quite close to my heart what the foundation is doing and achieving every day, and trying to raise awareness in our communities, Asian communities, and the wider communities as well.
Absolutely, it's a subtopic that's not really spoken about.
It isn't. It isn't. You know, it's a very taboo subject, and there is a stigma attached to mental health. And our aim is to try and raise that awareness that it's okay not to be okay. Mental health is a medical condition, but there is copious amounts of help out there to help people to get through that time.
Thank you. And Pav?
Hello, I'm Bhavan and I'm from the Heera Foundation. I'm in fact the chair of the organisation. We started it, I'd say, January 2018 from our personal experiences, and basically we thought we need to raise awareness. So our objectives in fact are to raise awareness of mental health issues, to bring that into our community and actually connect with the provision that's out there. So it's mental health and raising awareness of mindfulness as well, that we're here, life is a gift. We need to live in the present, not worry about the past and not worry about the future. Now is the moment to capture.
And how many of us really are living in the now? That's a question to ask, isn't it? Thank you. And Karen?
So I'm on board with the Heera Foundation, and my role is sports coordinator. So what I do is I'm contacting different organisations, football clubs, rugby clubs, and just getting the word out, because it is a great forum for men to actually start to talk to one another, and to break those stigmas attached with sharing things.
Absolutely. And men are really bad at talking about these things in particular, because women will talk about issues with women, but men do not, because the way especially Asian men have been raised is like, yeah,
it is.
But it's a shame because it's all swept under the carpet, and it's really important to kind of get this message across and say it's okay, like Karen said, to be not okay, because when we talk about things, we can actually make you okay, and you feel like it's not just me, because it's any topic. Once you start talking about it, there's so many other people begin to speak, because they were actually waiting for someone to start this topic and set up a platform like this. And
well, that's just it. That's what we're hoping to do, and we've been out into various godore now, community events, and we're basically saying it's okay not to be okay. We're talking about mental illness as something you can't see, you can't touch. However, there are people who are suffering, whether it's depression, whether it's bipolar, whether it's schizophrenia. There's a whole range out there. And like with any other illness, or if you've broken your leg or something, it needs that nurturing. Then we really do believe that it's possible with mental health as well. So what we've been doing is we've been on a bit of a journey. We've done loads of research, and we've connected with places like Papyrus. It's one of our leaflets here. Papyrus, and then basically they've set things up because of the prevention of suicide. Maytree, it's a suicidal sanctuary in London. We've been to Mind, we've connected with Seek Your Mind, so we've connected with the people who know, but what we're saying is there are these establishments out there who know their stuff, but we as a community are perhaps not tapping into that.
Can I just ask you, when you said from personal experiences, obviously just want to ask you a brief question, what are the signs that somebody is suffering with a disorder, or somebody is not well and they're not going to talk about it? Do you notice any signs?
Well, In retrospect now, there could be weight loss, weight gain, a person not looking after themselves, a person actually feeling quite anxious and knowing that they are anxious, and for them to be able to be in a safe space to actually be able to talk and for us to listen. You know, I think that's the biggest thing, isn't it? That ability to listen, be compassionate.
And not be judged, I suppose, because people often feel if they talk about anything that they really want to talk about, they're being judged, right? And they think, no, I better not talk about it.
And
because
also within our culture as well, you know, there's this massive expectation, such and such has this, such and such has that. The bottom line is it's feeling happiness and contentment yourself, isn't it? And it's okay.
And nobody can make you happy or anything. You have to find that from within.
I think we have an issue where, you know, you have an expectancy of how you should be and how you should behave. And going back to the signs of, you know, somebody suffering with mental health is look out for behaviour changes. So if somebody has been outgoing, you know, who well groomed and always been socially out there, and then all of a sudden they're becoming introvert and they're being at home all the time, they're not looking after themselves, or, you know, drinking or using substances, then there's an issue. You know, people don't sort of all of a sudden change their personality. You are who you are. And I think that's the issue here, that people are not recognizing signs, whether you're living with people, you know, you think, oh, they're just getting through a bad phase or whatever, but there are definite signs out there, like Bobbin said, the weight loss, the weight gain, you know, eating, comfort eating is another.
Sleeping, insomnia, you know.
Not sleeping enough or sleeping too much. These are all signs. And if you know that person well enough and you know that this person's behaviour has changed so much, then there's an issue there.
Because you have people say all the time, don't you, things like that, isn't it? They need to open up a little bit more.
And then going back to report, there was a British Sikh report that was written recently, and Dr. I think the lady's name is Jyoti Johal. She actually said within our Punjabi language we haven't actually got words to describe depression. Right? So she says, she, you know, links it to, we may say mere dil te boj bahut hai, mere dimag bahut para hai, you know, and that's
Mera
what
ji
we
nahi
say.
lagda, mera ji karta main roma, things like that.
Yeah.
You hear that all the
You know,
time.
so we're saying that, but then we're not taking the next step, that actually there is something wrong here, and it does need to be acknowledged.
And you know, like certain people even say, certain time of the day I get so udas. And you think, wonder what triggers that. See, nobody actually talks to or looks into it like we should.
Exactly, and then some of the work that Karen does, she's, do you want to just say what it is? Because basically it's about having that toolkit. You know, so if you're feeling like this, and we all get it, we all get waves of maybe depression, or we're feeling low, perhaps not to that level where it is suicidal, you know, but we do have that. And then you go into your toolkit with the NLP, I'm thinking, and you think, right, I've got to make a change here, I've got to do something, go for a walk, or, you know, have a cup of tea, meet such and such. So,
Go on.
Yeah, no, it just comes down to kind of, you know, having those strategies to deal with, you know, times when you are feeling low, times when you don't, you know, you're not feeling.
And I suppose do whatever gets you out of that rut, because it's, what triggers it and what helps you move away from those thoughts.
And also I think, you know, a really big thing is, you know, we talk about our environment. Our environment is absolutely key, and I'm not just talking about bricks and mortar, I'm talking about people.
Yes, the sort of people you hang around with and spend a lot of time with.
Exactly, you know, that makes a massive difference to, you know, the value you're adding to yourself and everybody. You know, one of our messages is that everyone we're working with, they need to recognise how important and how special they are, and the world wouldn't be the same without them.
Absolutely.
You know, it's such a big thing that we feel really quite, you know, profoundly about. You know, just to get that message out. That
and it's such a simple thing, isn't it?
It is.
You know, for you to say something to someone, or
smile at somebody.
Words. It's all it takes, really. It's not.
And you don't know what kind of day they're having, you know, or you don't know if they've got anyone that can, you know, speak, they can talk to. You may be the person that they approach.
And make them feel important. You know, walking down the corridor, I work in a school, so saying morning to even children that I don't know, that may be the first morning or good morning someone's mentioned to them. You know, and it's so key. And hence it's going back to, sorry to keep bringing it back to this, but the Heera Foundation, Heera, as we know, in Punjabi means diamond. And our strapline is protecting the minds of our diamonds. You know, in our Bani it's written that, you know, Manjit, Jagjit. So if you kind of conquer your mind,
you conquer the world.
then you've conquered the world, you know, and we really feel quite strongly again about that. So they're really simple things.
It's all in the mind. It starts in the mind, doesn't it? Yes, your mind is so, we don't realise how powerful it actually is until something happens to somebody, and then we think, don't we?
And then you retrack and you think, oh, I can see that now. Oh, this must have been like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think as human beings, that compassion is so key. You know, for us to understand, not just kind of feel what that person's feeling, but actually get into that person's shoes.
Yes, you know, all
and that's really
weekend,
powerful.
I'll tell you what, we were at the Gurdwara, we had a Kanpat, and all weekend I really enjoyed going early and making prashad there. And while I'm making prashad there, the old auntie were there and talking to them, because, you know, they come and do their chores on a daily basis and they see a new face. And a few of them said to me, they go, oh my God, they go, we didn't realise, you know, you're going to be coming every day and it's so nice to talk to you. It doesn't cost anything, like you said, you just have a chat with them. So see you tomorrow. Just jarur aayo. You know, it makes their day. Just kallu vi aayo. Because not everybody says that to them, right? They come to get out of their house because they're in that same rut day in, day out. And when somebody speaks to them and tells them to come again, they come looking for you. A bit of hope, isn't there?
Yeah. I mean, one of the other things that we're working on is we've got a Dogsok steering group.
Right.
So the whole idea behind that is, you know, as a culture, again, we probably don't really talk about, grief.
No.
Okay,
We
so
don't.
No.
we've connected with key organisations again, and we're talking about this is what grief is, this is the emotion that you go through, but this is creatively, again, what you could do about it, which will make you feel better. Obviously, it's a healing process, it's not just going to fix like that.
No.
But as part of the Heera Foundation, that's another thing, reaching out to those people who unfortunately have lost people.
Yes, because
know?
grief, it never goes away. You know, you may look okay one day, but it's always there at the back of your mind. If you've lost somebody close, you've just got to learn to live with it. Yeah. And it becomes like, you know, part of who you are, doesn't it? It gets sewn into your tapestry. You do. You do. And you think of that person that you've lost and you think, would he or she want me to be crying every day? Or would he or she want to see me like this? And you get the strength. And your faith, I think, gives you a lot of strength, doesn't it? For me personally, my faith, honestly, I always think I may not have one thing in my life, but look at the other 9 things I've got. And then you start your day on a positive, don't you? And look at the positives you've got. You've got more positives than negatives because we're here.
Yeah, you're right. It goes back to the mind again, doesn't it? You know, the mindfulness, the making the most of life is a gift.
Yes.
But you have to be around the right people, don't you, in order to acknowledge that and know those tools that you can dip into in order to make that difference.
Absolutely. And they say, you know, the 5 people you hang around with, you become one of them, don't you?
You do, yeah.
And it's very true.
It is very
because
true.
when you're around negative people, it's easy to become in that frame of mind, isn't it? And when you're with positive people, you think, wow, what an inspiration. And everybody has a story.
Yeah.
I think you have to learn to protect yourself. And you have to know that, look, you know, you have to love yourself first.
Before you can love anybody else.
And, you know, it's not about pleasing people. Yeah. It's about ensuring that your mental and physical well-being is the utmost importance. And after that, you can tackle, you know, what you need to do for people and so on. But it's learning the key to say no, you know, that doesn't suit me, I'm afraid.
That's
you know,
right. Put
and I
yourself
think
first and say no.
Exactly.
It doesn't suit you.
Isn't it?
Self-care. It's crucial.
And we need kids to also have that, so starting with kids and then
Yeah, so I mean, another thing we're doing, obviously we're raising our own funds, but we're working with young children as well. Right. And we've got these thought jars put together, and basically, if I can quickly read this bit, it says things like, you are loved, you are important, you are amazing, you are unique, you are special. And then, you know, just get parents and carers to actually talk about, and even school teachers. You know, we've had a few orders from schools and stuff too. The child chooses where they think they are, depending on their feeling and emotion, and actually just verbalising how they're feeling. Are they at the top of the tree today, feeling at the top of the world? You know, what's going on? What's made you think that? And it's practical. Wow. You know, they write it down on a post-it, they pop it in the jar, and then it becomes something. You know, a bit like memory jars.
And then whoever's looking at it, they pick up, don't they? How's this child? What's this child's mental health state like?
Just talking to them about their feelings. Yeah. In some cultures, I don't think we talk about our feelings that much because it's not, you know, it's just something that there's a stigma about still. It's like, you know, the shy. And it's something, you know, that we've not.
It's always like,
Well, I've got 2 young boys, you know, and I'm constantly talking to them. Well, they're talking to me in some cases all the time. But, you know, Nihal's just started secondary school, and the anxiety that's built up there, you know, is incredible. You know, and I'm saying, well, you do your homework later. It's okay, let's do this instead.
Yeah.
We've got to be in the right frame of mind
to do whatever you've got to do,
Exactly. So it's okay for parents to actually enable that. It's all right, stop there, let's do something else. It's not that important, in fact.
It's the pressure, you know, some of the pressures, the obligations, the expectations children have in schools, the expectations they put on themselves, that society puts on them. And I think for young kids nowadays, you know, I think it is tough.
It's very tough.
It is tough.
Through sports or through kind of, you know, just other arts.
Creativity. It's almost like a discipline, isn't it? Understanding that it's okay to have a mix of everything. It's not all about pressure. And also, I think this is like, you know, as you grow older, you know, you run a different journey and you learn from your mistakes and everything. But that whole, you know, it's okay not to be okay. And actually, you know something, even if you don't get whatever bank of GCSEs, there are pathways. This is that much of your life, and actually there's so many different things that you could be doing.
Because like you see some families, don't you, when it's exam time, the children are upstairs, but you don't know what that child's doing upstairs, right?
Well, yeah.
And they stop any visitors coming, good pranave, because I didn't have the exams, But that puts you into panic mode, and the child becomes anxious.
Yeah, I think sometimes, you know, as parents, we put that extra pressure on.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where we need to strip it away, because actually, what's that doing to their well-being? I'm not saying that they're not going to do amazingly well or not well and so on. What I'm saying is, we need to be mindful.
Do your best. I'm very much like you. Do your best. Didn't push my children that much, but, you know, I said do what you're good at, what you enjoy, and you'll always do really, really well.
Yeah, and that's it. As long as you're happy and you've tried your best, I said that's all me and parents need to be expecting.
And, you know, your health is your wealth, isn't it? Once that's gone, you know, you hear more and more of these mental health issues, because organisations like your Saheli, Heera Foundation, that's what we're here for, to encourage people to talk about these taboo subjects. I set this up because I couldn't find a platform like this. And since doing this, I feel it's my calling in life, if you like, to do this. And whatever challenges I faced were because I was meant to be doing this. And when you do something from the heart, it always goes really well. And then meeting organisations like yourselves and, you know, lots of other organisations, and we all kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that's what we're saying. We are networking. If you look at the back of our leaflet, you can see, you know, we're not saying that we are on our own, we're doing this and this is all about us. No, it's not. It's about everybody out there that, you know, we can touch with whatever it may be to say, you know, something, you are really important. You are really important to somebody, and we care about you, so please care about yourself and do what's right. You know, going back to World Suicide Prevention Day today, the Heera Foundation, we've actually been involved in another project with the Tomorrow Project.
Okay.
So there's going to be an exhibition of people impacted by suicide, people who have suicidal thoughts, etc. But there's a visual kind of creative kind of platform for that. So, you know, it's sad that, you know, people's lives are touched like this and people are impacted, but the bottom line is, you know, I think it's just that message again, you know, that the Tomorrow Project is putting out, that there's help.
There is help.
If you recognise,
just got to just ask for the help. It is there, and you're not alone, and you'll be amazed at how many other people were actually seeking help. And when you guys, do you work with different age groups, or is there a certain age group?
Well, you know something, we've created this card here, which is a mental health support card. You know, you can put it in your wallet, you can put it in your purse, which has got key numbers on. And this is for lots and lots of organisations out there. You know, it can go to whatever age, where, you know, we want to get out to universities, we've started
children.
to primary schools.
Children are our foundation, and if we can teach children from a young age, look, it's acceptable that you can talk about your feelings openly. You know, you're not going to be judged, and we'll support you no matter what. Because, you know, going back to children, I mean, there's a very high expectation from parents. Oh, you've get this degree or get these qualifications, but then that's okay, that's all right. You know, I've had my colleagues who've had cases where mums and daughters have come in. And a particular one that always I remember is this girl doing a degree in medicine, and she's obviously got very severe clinical depression. And the thing that mum's saying at the session is that, well, as long as let her get through her medicine degree first, you know.
She needs the help now, doesn't she?
She needs the help now. And unfortunately, the thing is, people are not realising all these suicides can be prevented, because it's about learning how you can help, let that person get better, and then deal with the expectations of what they want to do in life.
Absolutely. Because you've got to be, you know, somebody to commit suicide, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? It's very difficult to take your life, right? No matter how difficult the challenges are that you're facing,
at that point, the
or how low
feelings
you
that
are.
they have are so overwhelming that
Yes.
nothing, you know, the slightest thing
Yeah,
could
nothing
perhaps
matters,
make them
does
make
it?
that decision at that particular point.
Yeah.
But, you know, another key message is that these feelings do pass.
Yeah, I think that's
know,
important.
These feelings do pass, and that's, you know, probably one of the biggest messages we want to get out
Yeah,
there,
it
you
is.
know, to, you know, members of this world who feel like that.
Recognise the signs. If you notice somebody, talk to them, tell them there is help out there, take them out, you know, do what they enjoy, do it with them, spend time with them, don't leave them alone.
Even before that, you know, just being like that to everyone anyway, I think is just, you know, smiling, saying hello, just, you know, because I know we're living, you know, busy lives, everyone has busy lives, busy kind of, you know, work at home. But I think, like you said earlier, these things don't cost anything. Not, you know, it's not going to be a difficult, strenuous thing to, like, just have that time for people.
Because you don't know, they may just open up to you and tell them what they're going through.
And you'll be surprised how much they do.
Yes, they
I've
do.
had so many people, since they've seen the link that I've got with the Heera Foundation, actually coming up to me, whether it's at weddings or whether it's at gurdwaras or wherever, you know, actually kind of talking to me in a secretive way. Well, you know, okay, well, what's this about?
You can
and
put
we
them
can...
in touch with somebody, can't
Exactly.
you? You can invite them to
So
your
it just
event.
shows that how many people actually do need help. They will know of someone, or they're going through it themselves.
And especially Asians setting up something like this, it's really important, because some people will only go where they think they can speak the language, they feel safe, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. There is that. And then going back to your point, when we went to the Smedhi Gurdwara, you know, we had 2 sessions there, and people actually started coming up. And this is all ages, I have to say. As if they'd been kind of burdened by all of this stuff that had happened to them in their lives.
And a lot of men.
A lot of men.
And
lot
just
of men.
hearing about it, they probably just felt
They
all
just
this weight off their shoulders.
You could actually see, you could physically see it happening. And we're saying we're not the experts, but you know something, we are good listeners.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly,
we are good
and
listeners.
we can put you in touch with the experts, can't we?
Absolutely. But you could see that kind of pressure almost diffusing from them. And you think, okay, there's something in this. You know, there is something about humanity, there's something about people, it's something we need to do.
And when you do something from the heart because you're passionate about it, or you've lost somebody close to you, or it's happened, somebody close to you is affected by it, you'll always do it well, because, you know, the passion.
It's
And meaningful, absolutely.
And it's just about listening. Sometimes that person doesn't actually want you to tell them what to do, or, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that. All they want is for you to have a non-judgmental listening ear.
Yes, a
And
place
say,
that's free of
okay,
any judgment,
yeah,
and they
you
can
know,
be them. And
you can talk to me over a cup of tea or whatever, and just tell me how you feel. And I won't give you any solutions, but I'm just here to listen. And that's important, because that's something that we don't do, because we're always looking for a solution. But the solution is found by
yes.
yeah, you need to fix it.
Everyone's looking to give out their talk, but who's really there to listen?
Which you'll be surprised that there's
Yeah, I
not
totally
many.
agree. And, you know, like you say, if you can help one person on a daily basis, it's a brilliant cause, right?
That's
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. If you can prevent one suicide,
Exactly.
that's one life saved.
Yeah, because, you know, look at the impact it has on the families and everybody else. Because the person that's committed the suicide, they've gone, right? They don't know what's going on behind. What about the loved ones that are left behind?
And then, you know, the support that they get or don't get as the case is. So that's another place where our leaflet's gone into funeral directors.
Brilliant.
You know, just to say,
Brilliant.
look, we've actually done this research now. Can you please, unfortunately we couldn't help here, but can you
Fantastic.
please pass on these key numbers, key details? You know,
Brilliant.
because these are the experts. These people will offer you that support when somebody has, you know, been lost, you know, passed away due to taking their own lives, or whether a natural, you know, passing and so on. because, as I said before, we don't talk about it enough.
No.
We haven't got that support in place, and that safe space is something that's necessary.
And there's help out here, so nobody should feel alone. The Heera Foundation are here, organisations like your Saheli are here, and if you need anyone to talk to, approach us, and we're here. And we don't judge. It's a place that's totally free of any judgments, and you can just be you and talk. And thank you so much, ladies. The 25 minutes have just flown by, and it's been so great talking to you. Any final message that you'd like to leave before you go?
I think the main thing is, you are so important. Forget the pressures of life. Live today. Life is a gift.
Brilliant. Thank you, ladies, and thank you so much to the viewers. And please remember, you're not alone. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
I'm Iqbal Singh Kang of Vienna Kang Advocates. We specialise in the defence of serious crime, family law, employment law, commercial law. You can trust us to resolve your legal problems. Contact us at any time on the numbers on the screen.
Here at Cloud9 Estates Coventry, we have a real passion for what we do, and that's why we've been voted one of the top 3 businesses in the Midlands. It's our aim to find the right people for the right property every time.
We can get your property from valuation to listing in just 24 hours.
So whether you're a buyer, a seller, a tenant or a landlord, give Cloud9 a call on 024 76 263 660 and let us put our passion into your property.
सबना दा भला मनाएंदा सतगुर सबना दा भला मनाएंदा सबना दा भला मनाएंदा
पूरे मेरी राख गुरपूरा मेरी राख गुरपूरा मेरी राख गुरपूरा मेरी राख अमृत नाम हृदय में दीनो अमृत
ਸਾਹਿਬਜ਼ਾਦੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਦਲ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਅਤੇ ਯੂਰਪ ਦੀਆਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਦੇ 550 ਸਾਲਾ ਗੁਰਪੁਰਬ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਰਪਿਤ ਗਿਆਨੀ ਕੁਲਵੰਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਦੀਵਾਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੇਰਵਾ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਹੈ। 12 ਜੁਲਾਈ ਤੋਂ 18 ਜੁਲਾਈ ਆਸਟਰੀਆ, 19 ਤੋਂ 21 ਜੁਲਾਈ ਬੈਲਜੀਅਮ, 22 ਤੋਂ 28 ਜੁਲਾਈ ਜਰਮਨੀ, 29 ਤੋਂ 4 ਅਗਸਤ ਤੱਕ ਸਪੇਨ, 5 ਤੋਂ 11 ਅਗਸਤ ਨਾਰਵੇ, 12 ਤੋਂ 18 ਅਗਸਤ ਇਟਲੀ ਵਿਖੇ ਇਹ ਦੀਵਾਨ ਸਜਾਏ ਜਾਣੇ ਹਨ। ਵਧੇਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲਈ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੰਬਰਾਂ ਤੇ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰੋ।
I'm Iqbal Singh Kang of Vienna Kang Advocates. We specialise in the defence of serious crime, family law, employment law, commercial law. You can trust us to resolve your legal problems. Contact us at any time on the numbers on the screen.
जियो वाला